I saw Fred Harris at a campaign rally right here at the National Hispanic Cultural Center, and I introduced myself to him again, this time as a first-year law student. He acted like he remembered me because he was so kind, right? Probably 1,000 students, and he acted like he remembered me, of course, and that's because students were important to him. I mentioned that the reason I decided to apply to law school in the first place was inspired by his formative lectures. I believe that motivating students to believe in themselves and push the boundaries of their capabilities is the best trait of a professor. And since 2019, I have been welcoming Fred Harris interns into my offices to honor their accomplishments. The internship program he founded has influenced a great many students to take career paths rooted in public service. In our world, as it is today, there is no greater testament to the influence and value that Fred Harris has brought to New Mexico and our country than his impact on our youth. Through the years, Professor Harris and I became good friends. In 2014, he supported my run for Lieutenant Governor of New Mexico. And the following year, he nominated me when I ran successfully for New Mexico State Democratic Party chair. Up to 2024, we had been through pretty much every election cycle together, including several national conventions. Were it not for him, I simply would not be standing here today as a member of the President's Cabinet. So many people have similar stories. Fred Harris had a way of helping people realize their potential and empowering them to achieve it. In 2008, I researched the strategy, tactics, and messaging Fred Harris used in his 1976 presidential campaign. Back then, he ran as a progressive who championed issues of human rights and income inequality. One of his campaign slogans was "Take the rich off welfare." It's still relevant today. I adopted that slogan on political buttons that I made myself, and I handed them out with joy. To me, his most meaningful accomplishments stemmed from his belief that for Indigenous people, our land and water is everything. The legislation he championed to help Taos Pueblos see the return of their Blue Lake was environmental justice in action, and I will be grateful for this monumental event for the rest of my life. For all who have known Fred, it is clear that his values were always a constant. Regardless of what office any of us were running for or what policies we were working on through the years, Fred Harris was our guide. His perspective always mattered, and his words were words we could always live by. I am proud that many decades ago, Fred Harris chose to make New Mexico his home. Our state has benefited greatly from his teachings, his relentless pursuit of social justice, and his devotion to democratic values. But most of all, his smile and unwavering friendship to those of us lucky enough to know him stands as a beacon of light. Thank you all so much for being here today.